Now, I think it is safe to say, 22 games into the season, we are staying up. We shouldn't be getting relegated. We are 9 points off of Europe. We are 16 points away from the relegation zone. I think it's safe to say that job done for the year, which means we're going to have 2 more episodes of Season 13. Today's episode, we're in January. We're going to have a January transfer window. I've done no business in the club, but a few players have left. Arne Brynjarsen is the first one to leave the club. We brought him in for £875,000 because we kind of had to after the loan deal, and we've sold him back to Italy. I say back to Italy, we sold him to Italy, signing for Crotone for 525k. Not a lot of money. This one was a bit more money, and I didn't want to do this, but he just wasn't getting the game time. Robbie Finnegan moving over to Turkey, signing for Galatasaray for £11.25 million. It's technically a loss, but he just was not playing for us this season. He played 2 games, and that was basically the end of December, where he said, I want to play first team football. So I went, okay, sure thing, why not? And then I realised, actually, we've got better options now ahead of Finnegan. And result-wise, I can't even remember where we finished the last episode. It was the Leeds and Spurs games, wasn't it? So, result-wise, we have been as average as you can possibly be. I think we have drawn 1, 2, 3 games. We have won 1, 2, 3, 4 games, technically 5, and we have lost 1, 2, 3 games. We've basically got an equal amount of wins, draws and losses, haven't we? Which is what you'd expect for a mid-table team. We're going to be playing Leicester and Bournemouth in this episode, and maybe, just maybe, bringing in a couple of new faces as well. The starting lineup for the Leicester game then will be Kavic or Savic in goal. I'm going to go with Kavic in goal. Barton, Babovic, Zuari and Volpe in defence. Soma and Bean in midfield. Darko, Moreno, Santillan and Rory Allen are our attacking options. Kavic is playing because if we scroll down here, you will see at the very bottom, Pintea is currently out for 2 to 3 weeks with a fractured cheekbone, which means Kavic is going to get some game time. And I'm actually okay with that because I think he's a good keeper. I am thinking about playing Coadio as a central midfielder. I mean, naturally, he's a Mazzala. I mean, ball-winning midfielder is what we do play, and what we can do is this. This is actually maybe a better option, because I think Soma and Zuari, they're both children. 21 years of age for Soma, Zuari 19 years of age. I think that is a central defensive partnership. If we can get that working, Coadio is still young, 20 years old. Andrew Bean is a bit on the older side, still only 27 though, so maybe we look at getting a new central midfielder in the coming seasons, and then we've just got a bunch of kids running the squad. I'll tell you now, my transfer plans for the rest of January is to bring in 1 player, and that is a right winger who is possibly going to be a backup. I'm not saying that's the only bit of business we're going to do, but that is my priority. Darko is very good all of a sudden. I don't really know what's happened, but Darko is very, very good. So yeah, I want to get somebody who can basically push him all the way. I don't think Alan Roberts is that player. Half an hour in, and we've had literally no highlights. Leicester down in 14th place at the moment. Moreno's corner comes in, and it is DJ Coadio making it 1-0, cracking goal from the corner. This is how we've been playing. We've basically been doing our business quite quietly, just getting on with things, scoring goals, winning games. I think we are the top scoring team in the league. We also have one of the worst defences. Just before half-time, is there a chance for a second goal? Doubling our lead. Darko to Bean. Where are you going to go? Backwards to Coadio. Now Allen. Right-hand side is Barton. Loads and loads of space. 5 in the box. And it's just passed straight to Satulo. So what is this highlight? 1 minute 30 seconds of injury time left of the first half. Bean chests it down from Soma's head. Moreno, who has started scoring goals as well. It's all coming together. Moreno on that left-hand side needs some support. Crosses it in. Bean's there at the front post. And Andy Bean gets his 4th goal of the season. And it is 2-0 to Dover at the break. That was very presumptuous of me to say that it was 2-0 at the break. It was. There were no more highlights. It is 2-0. And we're just looking good. I think the key thing for me, Darko and Moreno are turning up. Zuari's gone for a very long-range effort for the central defender there. After, 4 minutes? 3.5 minutes of the second half. Moreno's going to take a corner towards Soma at the front. Doesn't manage to find him. Darko back to Moreno, the 2 wingers. Moreno back to Coadio. Going the wrong way, lads. Back to Soma. Highlight ends. And another begins. Volpe to Zuari. Volpe playing on that left-hand side, because you did see at the start, by the way, we do have quite a lot of injuries. Barton on the right, going down the wing, down towards Darko. Can he get himself another assist? He has 10 assists this season in the league. he is the top assister in the entire league. Scotter's going for a run for Leicester, though. We're only 6 minutes into the second half, and Leicester looking like... I mean, Scotter's just made it... That was a hot knife through butter run, that was, wasn't it? He just walked straight through the middle of them. Santalan's doing literally nothing. He's on a 6.3. I imagine some of these 12 shots are falling to Santalan, and he's doing nothing. Playing okay. I'm not sure I agree with that one. Right, if we do Jang Dae-ho, and we'll swap you two over. Jang Dae-ho can't play on the left wing, but he is training to be a left winger. But he's also going to be going out on loan before the end of the transfer window, I expect. So, yeah, expect that to happen. We are still pre-substitution by the looks of it. Santalan confirming that I should be bringing him off with a very poor pass. Hudson's got the ball for Leicester. On the ground to Berger. Berger's curling effort goes over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick. Jose Arthur with a free kick, and Luquinha, could have been his name, might have been his name in fact, heads that effort over the bar. Leicester look like they're coming back into this. Tuanzebe to Dunbar, to Emin, to Scotter. Lovely ball finds Hudson, being forced off to the left-hand side, and Savic is going to clear the ball upfield. I never know whether it's Savic or Kavic. Dunbar to Emin, to Marcel, Jose Arthur again, now Dunbar. Leicester are definitely going to score on this. Volpe calmly... What are we doing? What was that nonsense? So last episode, we had a really good team talk at half-time, and we came back against Spurs and didn't get anything from this. Are we going to do the opposite? We played really well in the first half against Leicester. Are we going to just completely balls this up in the second? It's Rory Allen, finds Barton on the right. Loads and loads of space for Barton. Plenty of white shirts in the middle. It's taken a deflection. It's fallen for Bean. Jang Dae-ho can do a lovely spin. We're going the wrong way, lads. Volpe lumps it forward. Finds Darko at the back post, and Darko's bloody scored. But I think the flag's up. Well, the flag technically isn't up. We can see the guy's got his flag down. We're going to get VAR. And it's going to be awarded. It is 3-1. Darko scored on camera again. And, yeah, we have retaken or regained our 2-goal lead. Leicester, though, coming forward again. What is going on? A lot is happening. Marcel plays the ball down. Soma can clear it. Soma, by the way, dropped down to a 6-3, I assume, because of the Leicester goal. Scotter's there. Scotter should have scored, but he might have been offside. Right, Soma, I literally put you as that centre-back on purpose, and you've proved me that you shouldn't be maybe playing there every single week. Bram Dijkstra is going to come on. I prefer Dijkstra over Babovic. I don't really know why. I just do. We are also going to do Andrew Bean for Daniel Villamaya, who is he Paraguay? Is he from Paraguay? He is from Paraguay. He's very good. He probably should get more game time than he actually does. So if it all stays this way, and it is looking likely to, we are going to not move a single position in the league table, although we've just moved up to 10th. I think Southampton have just conceded a goal, which means they might now be drawing. So we move up from 11th to 10th place. To clear its upfield, we've got 40 seconds. Coadio to Villamaya, forward, finds Jang Dae-ho. He's going to go for a run. Plays it all the way backwards to Stefano Volpe. Villamaya, Jang Dae-ho crosses it in. Darko's there at the back post. Maybe a few options in the middle. It's not the best cross. And now Leicester, can they get something late? It's not going to mean much. It's a cracking tackle from Coadio. We're going again, are we? We're going to make it 4. Allen to Villamaya. Plays the ball through. Moreno's going to get there as well. We can't score. And oh my word, Daniel Villamaya can get himself his 3rd goal of the season. It looked good. I mean, the goal was effectively open, wasn't it? The goalkeeper wasn't on his line. But that is going to be a 4-1 victory against Leicester. That's another very good result. I think we might be playing Man City, though, in a minute. So that is a bit of a concern. Moreno, 9.1. Gets himself 3 assists. This performance here, this is now the norm for him. Darko, scoring goals, getting assists. That's the norm for him as well. We're actually turning into a pretty decent Premier League side. So, 23 games played. We are now 6 points off of Europe, although West Ham have got 2 games in hand over us. We're not playing Man City next either. We're playing Bournemouth, who have got 9 points and only 2 wins. We might get our first double win of an episode in the Premier League. It's been a while since we won both matches, but we are going to go forward, but I expect we'll come back before then with some transfer business. So this is my selected right winger, Mohamed Gross, who is a Canadian and Uruguayan, currently playing in Uruguay. And, I mean, I'm just looking at him going, he's really fast, isn't he? He's really bloody fast. He can finish as well. I'm not expecting him to be a starter straight away, but He's only 22 years of age. He should be good enough to maybe challenge Darko for a bit of football this season. And he's only cost us £1.8 million, and he only wants to be a squad player. So, I guess we'll just knock this one out nice and quick. Let's give him a 4-year deal. Okay, he accepted that straight away. Nice. Wanderers do want him back on loan, which isn't actually going to happen. The other option I was looking at for the right-hand side was Harvey Elliott, and I think basically he's just going to cost far too much money. Currently playing in the Premier League, obviously one of the big benefits is he's English, but he's going to want to be a first-team footballer, and I don't think we can offer him that with Darko in the form that he's being in. I also took a look at Justin Brook-Kiore, who, similar to, I've already forgotten his name, Gross. He's young, he can potentially challenge for first-team football, but he's just signed a new contract at Wellington Phoenix, so he's not leaving. And also Kenny Skoog, but I'm not solely convinced. Mainly this is down to age. I think technically he's actually pretty good. I think obviously physically you can see that he's actually pretty good as well, but he's just 27. He's going to be 28 very soon. He will probably only cost 1.2. Let's put in a bid anyway. Annoyingly, he wants to play on the right-hand side, and he's going to want more money than, what's his face? That's a lot more money. A few more days have passed, and this could be an important loan signing for Bram Dijkstra, going to Nottingham Forest, who I think are a championship side. I should know this, yeah, they're a championship side. If he goes there and plays week in, week out, at 28 years of age, he needs to be getting that football, and it might suddenly turn him into, I'm hoping basically, he's going to be a late bloomer, is what I'm trying to get to. First team football in the championship might be the key to that. More transfer news, and this time Edwin Suazo, the Honduran who has been with us forever, has left the club. I mean, why is this here? Get rid of this. I want to see when we signed him. We signed him in 2027, 2028, and then he spent 5 seasons out on loan at various teams, getting football. Arguably getting a decent amount of football. I mean, those 2 seasons, Tarragona and Augsburg, maybe not so much, but he's moved over to Russia, signing for Lokomotiv Moscow. Also, we've just seen him in the last match, but Jang Dae-ho has gone out on loan to Brentford because, much like Bram Dijkstra, I think he needs the football. I don't think he's a bad player at all, but I think he needs some first-team football, particularly at 25 years old. First bit of bad news then, hunting for a right winger. Kenny Skoog doesn't want to join because he's not getting a work permit, which is fair enough. He's got no caps. I can understand why he wouldn't get a permit. And on the morning of the Bournemouth game, Mohamed Gross does get himself a work permit. I don't know whether we're going to be able to register him in time. He's not going to play, or if he does, he's going to be on the bench. He is in the club. He is 2.5-star, 3-star potential, which, I mean, I would have hoped it would be a bit more than that, but he's still 22. Maybe they're wrong. But, I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy with Gross. Tell me what you think about Mohamed Gross. It's a good signing. It's a bit odd that he's part Canadian. I don't know why he's part Canadian, but there you go. He does join the North American contingent that we seem to have at our club as well. So that's a good thing. I say we seem to have. We don't have it anymore. We've only got Rory Allen, but we did have loads. Speaking of, Romain Charrier has left and gone to RB Leipzig for £14.25 million. When I wanted to buy him, they wanted 40. They wanted 40 million. I couldn't afford that. I couldn't justify it. I would have paid that. I definitely would have paid that. The starting lineup then for the Bournemouth game will be Savic, Kavic, whatever his name is, in goal. Barton, Soma, Zawari and Volpe in defence. Bean and Villamayor in the centre of midfield with Darko Moreno, Santallan and Rory Allen as our front 4 options. I'm going to have a word with Mr. Santallan because you have not been very good lately. You can't argue with that. We also do have Mohamed Gross sat there on the subs bench, so he's going to get himself a nice, fancy squad number. We are still missing Jim Gregg and Pintea. Patino still can't get himself a work permit. Can we apply for another one? 47 days, so yeah, he's probably not playing for us this season. So Bournemouth are bottom of the table. They are effectively relegated at this point. I know it's still technically early on, but they are so far down the bottom of the table. Their performances haven't been good, although they've won 2 of their last 5, which is surprising considering when you look at the league table, they're on 9 points out of 23 games. If they doubled their point score, they'd still be in the relegation zone. So you'd have to think they're probably getting relegated this season. I want to put some more misery on them. And maybe a minute and a half in, we are going to do exactly that. Villamayor crosses in, Darko's there at the back post, and he heads over the bar. Should have been 1-0. Maybe this is going to be 1-0. Darko's corner comes in. Soma. It's not Soma, it's Bean comes in. I saw a 4-letter name. I assumed it was Soma. It wasn't. It was Andy Bean. If we win this, we move up to 9th place in the table. We are solidly top half team there. We are ahead of Man City as well. I keep thinking City are good. They still have the money. They're just not doing as well as they perhaps should be. Speaking of not doing as well as they perhaps should be, Santallan is on another 6.4 now. Lovely. And at half time, it's been fairly dull. Bournemouth turned up around, the 30th minute, apparently. Decided to have all of their shots in a short succession. We haven't been very good at all. Our shooting has not been good enough. Listen to me, Santallan. I'm not happy. I'm quite angry, in fact. You're demotivated. I mean, I'm pretty good at team talks. The second half is as exciting as the first, apparently. Still no highlights. Nothing really going on. Let's do ourselves some changes. Santallan coming off. We're going to do the whole Moreno up front. Dean Laird or Stulic. We'll go for Stulic. Do we give Gross a game? Do we bring him on? I'm arguably not, because Darko's on a 6.9. If we'll keep him maybe as the third sub, because if Darko's fitness drops much lower, then maybe we'll bring him off. We'll do Adrian Barton for Diallo, because Diallo should be our backup right back. Doesn't really get too much game time. We have ourselves a free kick in a good position, and we are going to see it. It is going to be Zawari, the Algerian defender. He's hit the bar. Is he our best free kick taker? He's got 9 free kick taking. Why is a defender with 9 free kick taking our free kicks? He's the highest left-footed free kick. Don't make him take him then. Give him to Darko. Darko, I imagine, can do it. Give him to you. You're way down the pecking order. Right, Adrian Barton, Santallan and Darko. We'll stick Moreno on there as well. That's probably why Zawari's taken lots of free kicks. 67th minute we have just ticked into, and it's gone all the way back to Razzi, apparently. I say back, we did that pass. It's gone all the way forward to their goalkeeper. Razzi kicks it well over the halfway line, and oh my word, Soma, what are you doing? That is 100% Soma's fault there. He comes out, tries to jump for it, absolutely misses it, and we are 1-0 down to a team who have 9 points so far this season. We hadn't even done our subs by the time they scored that goal. Soma to Villamayo, left-hand side towards Rory Allen, needs some support. Stulic is now on the pitch as well. Zawari to Bean in the centre circle, lumps it forward, finds Stulic. What a ball that is, and what a save that is from Razzi. It's going to be a corner. 20 minutes to play. We need to find ourselves the equaliser. Darko steps up with the corner towards the front post. It's not the best corner. Headed off for a throw. And now Bournemouth have themselves a chance in a very good position as well. Datro Fofana's going to step up. Right-footed corner. Curling effort. Hits the top of the crossbar. Goes over. Bournemouth arguably have done enough to win this. Although we've also done enough to score a goal and haven't done that bit. Right, final substitution. We are going to do Gross coming on instead of Darko, though. He's coming on for Rory Allen because Rory Allen is also playing poorly. We're being let down by our shooting. That is genuinely what's happening here. We're being let down by our strikers and our attacking midfielders, and we're just not scoring the goals that we should be scoring. Moreno, back to Darko, lumps it forward. Stulic isn't going to win a header because he's 5'5". Clive back to Michael Douglas. He's getting on a bit, isn't he? Monzon plays it towards the left. Datro Fofana, little flick, finds Karbelnik, maybe, could be his name. It's going to be Zawari back to Savic. He's kicked it long over towards Stulic. Never going to win a header. Never going to win a header. Volpe steals it off him. That's good. Stulic to Volpe. Long ball forward. Finds Moreno. Is it going to be 1-1? It's going to be a penalty. David Coote says that's a foul. It looked harsh. Do we even know who takes our penalties? It might be Moreno, you know. Might be Moreno who takes our penalties. Assuming this is a pen. It is a penalty. It's Mohamed Gross. Why is Mohamed Gross taking our penalties? He's been on the pitch for 5 minutes. The Canadian Uruguayan tucks the ball away. I mean, I'll take it. That's not really what I expected. A brand new signing from Uruguay to turn up and do. Potentially get a point against Bournemouth from the penalty spot. I'm now interested to see whether he's any good at penalties. I mean, I imagine he must be. I feel like I haven't set my penalty takers up. We've nicked a point. We should have got more from that. Is Gross genuinely a good penalty taker? 13. He's not even that good. Well, I'm going to say you're not good enough because we should be winning those games. Santallan, I'm sorry, fella. Heads up, I'm chucking a water bottle out because you're terrible. You're absolutely terrible at the moment. Right, Santallan, you have some interest. I think we might be looking to sell him just because his form since January, or yeah, literally since his injury. Maybe he's one of those players that he needs to get back into full fitness before he's any good. Right, this is a strange thing to do, but we're going to stick you in your under 18s for, I mean, let me do the thing that I want to do. Next match, 90 minutes. You can play 90 minutes for the under 18s, score 6 goals, come back to the first team and be amazing. It is transfer deadline day. There is 15 hours left to go. We have some money to spend. However, we've got £24.7 million. We've got a decent wage budget as well. However, currently, there isn't really anybody joining the club at the moment. There's no real interest in anybody either. I want to loan out Patino. I think that is something that we need to look at doing so we can try and get that ball rolling. I want them to pay all of his wages if possible. But there is nothing else really going on. Everything else, like we've got no agent offers, nobody attracting interest or anything like that. So, yeah, maybe we need to take a look for some people. This is the state of the current squad. If we just drop that down to 2-star current ability, you can see we're actually quite well stacked. We've got 2 reasonably good goalkeepers, or 1 very good and 1 reasonably good keeper. Right backs, we've got Elliott and Barton. We've got Babovic, Soma, Zawari, Volpe and lines into central defence. Greg Patino, if he can ever get a work permit. We've also got Connor Cameron. So we've got a decent squad. We've got nice squad depth as well. Do we do that? Do we shift on Santalan? If we can get maybe £31 million for him, or near £31 million, maybe that's an option, and we look at bringing in another striker, which is arguably the most fun when it comes to transfers, trying to find a decent goal scorer. This episode is potentially going to be very, very long, isn't it, if I go through this? I mean, we'll just look for any strikers. I've got it sorted by world reputation, I believe, so maybe we don't do that. It's just sorted by recommended. We've got Hugo Gomez, who's an 18-year-old Portuguese striker. Not the finished article. We need the finished article, really, don't we? So let's have a look at some people. Francis Hudson is a player who literally just played against us a couple of matches ago, and he's only just joined Leicester recently. They spent £11.5 million, but it's a part exchange. So maybe they got the wrong end of the deal. Maybe they brought in Hudson because, I don't know, actually. No, because they paid £11.5 million plus a player to bring in Hudson, and now West Brom want him. He wants to go on loan. Maybe that. Let's bring him in on loan. It's going to cost us £1.9 million, and we have to pay 10.75 after 5 games, assuming he plays 5 games. I mean, can we bump that up to 10? If we do that 10, I'm okay with that, because we might not play him 10 games, and then we're not forced into this deal. There's only 15 games left of the season. And 4 hours after the initial bid was put in, Francis Hudson is joining until the end of the season, which is costing £1.9 million. And then we could buy him if he plays 10 matches for £10.75 million. I just need to make sure that I don't play him for 10 games. Once he's hit 9 games, we'll just not play him unless in those 9 games he scored like 7 or 8 goals. Should we say something like that? And I think that is potentially our transfer business done. I don't think we need to do a huge amount more business. Hudson, realistically, brought in as a striker, but can fill in on the wings as well, which is very, very helpful, because it means Moreno, Darko, players like that can maybe play in different positions. So that was a somewhat less exciting transfer window for us, I think. Deadline day, we literally just brought in Francis Hudson on loan, with obviously the potential to sign him. A couple of players have gone out on a loan deal. I say a couple. One has gone out on a loan deal. That's not the one I'm on about. He's still not quite gone yet. Felix Patino is going out on loan. Annoyingly, he's going out on loan to Jeongbuk in South Korea, which isn't ideal. I would have rather him stayed in Europe, but if he goes there, gets some game time, things like that, maybe we can get him a work permit that way. We also tried to sell Nguyen Van Hein on a free transfer, but I did this with 30 minutes left of the window, and yeah, nobody can sort any business out in that amount of time. And despite the fact that we didn't really sell too many players, we brought in a couple of new faces. We are still the second lowest wage in the league. £1.3 million per week. If we double that, we will be where we roughly sit in the league table. We are massively, massively overperforming at the moment, which is good to see. And I think with that, that is going to do it for this episode. Next episode, will probably be towards the end of the season. I don't think we are going to do too much when it comes to fighting for Europe or maybe being in a relegation scrap. So yeah, next episode will probably be the final episode of Season 13. I think it's Season 13. But thank you very much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. Coming very, very soon. Building a Nation in Switzerland. And by very soon, next week, it is coming out. The full Season 1 throughout the entire week. So yeah, join me for that one. And yeah, join me as well for more Dover Athletic Season 13. Staying in the Premier League again. Thanks for watching.